3 lives saved. A home is gutted after a morning fire. A look at what an Austin family is left with the day after Christmas. And a shopping hangover. How to make those gift returns as painless as possible. Plus, the Longhorns plan to silence the calling of the Hogs. The KEYE sports team live in Houston with a preview. Happening now, city crews are in North Austin right now scrambling to repair a sinkhole. This is right off Mopac and Palmer at a shopping center. It started after a water main break under the parking lot broke. That part of the parking lot has been taped off as it gets fixed. And new at 6, 3 house fires in just 2 days. Thanks for joining us. I'm Melanie Lofton. Walt and Hema have the night off. The latest fire in East Austin left a family's home gutted. That's happened around 7 this morning on Brass Street. KEYE-TV's Melanie Torre is there. Mel, the Red Cross is finding that family a place to stay?
Yes, they are, Melanie. You can take a look at this house behind me, and that roof obviously caved in. No one can live here now, though 3 people were living here before the fire. A couple hours ago, some people were out here boarding up the back side of the home where there's a lot of damage. Now, fire crews arrived this morning to find heavy fire and a lot of smoke in the attic. They were able to put the fire out in about 20 minutes. Fire officials say this home is considered a total loss, and if it weren't for safety precautions, things might have been worse.
The working smoke alarm did alert the residents to the fact that the fire was occurring, so they were able to get out safely with no injuries. So we definitely feel this morning that the working smoke alarm saved 3 lives.
Now, investigators determined this fire was an accidental electrical fire that started an vent fan above the bathroom. This fire is our 3rd Austin house fire in just 3 days, and tonight at 10, the Austin Fire Department will share some advice for protecting your home from fires this winter. Live in East Austin, Melanie Torre, KEYE-TV News.
With Christmas behind us, shoppers are once again hitting the stores, this time to return their gifts. And that's a problem, with retailers expecting to take a $3.8 billion hit due to fraudulent returns. KEYE-TV's Fred Cantu joins us live to show us how stores are protecting themselves and what we can do to make the process quicker. Fred?
Yeah, the National Retail Federation says you should expect to have to present an ID when you try to return an item, even if you have the receipt. So plan on packing this ID and your patience when you hit the returns desk.
Thank you for calling Precision Camera and Video. This is Michael. How can I help you?
This Christmas rush isn't quite through yet. Now stores are filled with shoppers spending Christmas cash and returning Christmas gifts. Amy Bench is not a fan of returning gifts.
Well, I guess they saw something in this that might be useful, so I should try it out.
Yeah.
And also, if they buy something for you and they come over and it's not there, oh, right. I don't know how you explain that situation.
But she knows firsthand how someone might want to improve on something you gave them.
My parents have upgraded before. We bought them a bike rack, and it only held 2 bikes. They were like, oh, that's a great gift, but we'd like to hold 4 bikes. So they returned it and they basically upgraded it.
If you must return a gift, make sure it's complete and in the original packaging.
My suggestion to everybody is to keep everything they received for Christmas and return it complete, so they will not have any problems returning the gift.
Here's one common mistake people make when returning an electronic gadget, such as a digital camera.
A lot of people make the habit of charging their new gift and then deciding they don't want it or wanted an alternative one, and they forget to take the charger out of the wall.
If you want to avoid long lines at the returns desk, it's best you get to the stores early.
I would say first thing in the morning, everybody's prepared for returns after Christmas, so the earlier you can get into the store, the less chance there will be of getting into line.
And to speed things up a little bit before you head out here, you might want to do a little homework. For instance, just read the receipt. It may actually spell out the store's return policies, and make sure you know exactly what day is the deadline for returning an item. Time is not on your side. Fred Cantu, KEYE-TV News.
Well, it's not just the malls dealing with a lot of returns tonight. Delivery drivers will also be busy for the next few days handling returns. UPS expects to see 4 million return packages by the end of the first full week in January. January 6th is National Returns Day. That's when they estimate more than 800,000 gifts will be sent back to stores. And if you're planning to use some of your gift cards online, security experts are warning you to take some precautions before others take your money. First, they say to be careful when using public Wi-Fi. If you need to shop on the go, it's better to use your cell phone's data network. Other common mistakes include using an old version of your browser, clicking on pop-up ads, and searching for anything with the word cheap. The results could lead you to sites run by counterfeiters. And lastly, when checking out, make sure right on the website address that it begins with HTTPS. If the S is not there, the site may not be secure. Well, it's feeling more like spring than winter today. For a look at what's ahead, here's Storm Tracker meteorologist Jordan Steele with your first forecast.
Good evening, Melanie. Yes, very spring-like temperatures, 60s and 70s. It's still going to be fantastic if you're about to head out. We're at 68 right now in Austin. Georgetown, you are still at 70. So tonight, there's not really much to worry about. A little bit closer to home. We had a few 70s on the map about 5 minutes ago, places like Montopolis, but we're now seeing them drop down into the upper 60s. Eventually, that change, we could be talking about maybe a 30-degree temperature drop as soon as tomorrow. So all eyes over the next 12 hours are going to be on the approaching cold front that's going to be moving into our territory overnight tonight, more like tomorrow morning. And of course, this is what's going to change the forecast up for us as we go in towards your weekend. So before you make any weekend plans, I've got your full forecast that'll show you the timeline of this, when it heads out here, and when that next mild day will move back in. That's just a couple of minutes away.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Gone. All the parking spaces at ABIA are taken right now. The few parking spaces they did have available got taken up just a few hours ago. Now, this is the first time since 2007 that Austin Bergstrom has surpassed their 13,000 space capacity. At this point, they're not really sure when there will be more spaces available. If you need to go to the airport soon, you're advised to be dropped off or get there by bus or taxi. Parking at off-airport locations are also near capacity. More places around Central Texas are offering to recycle your Christmas tree and other decorations at no charge. Now, you can go to the TDS recycling locations in Bee Cave, Creedmoor, and Georgetown, as well as the Gardenville recycling locations in Bee Cave, Creedmoor, Georgetown, and San Marcos. The Austin Fire Department wants to remind you that live trees can become a fire hazard, and it's better to dispose of them as soon as possible.
Just remember, as those trees dry out, they become less of that ornamental, wonderful Christmas tree and turn into, in effect, gasoline on a stick.
And a few tips to remember: if you are planning to keep your tree a little while longer, make sure it is watered and do not dispose of it in the fireplace. And as we get closer to the new year, we do want to remind you that fireworks are illegal within Austin city limits. What you are allowed to use within the city limits are sparklers, smoke bombs, glowworms, and poppers. The fire department says to be careful with sparklers as they can reach temperatures of 1,800 degrees, and smoke bombs can also shoot flames about 2 to 3 inches away. In mourning and on high alert, the New York City Police Department receiving new threats on the heels of the tragic deaths of 2 officers. Plus, standing tall, how a giant tree is giving one woman hope after a year-long battle.